All right guys, picked up this Samsung dryer for free that is not heating. So we're gonna be taking it apart, diagnosing it today, figure out why it's not heating. Again, Samsung dryer, model number DV40J3000EWA2. So anyways, we'll get into this, see why this thing's not heating. All right, first things first, how do we get into this thing? In order to get into these, you need to pop the top on these. A lot of people will tell you to put a putty knife, slip it in here. Well, let me open this. Slip a putty knife in here, push in on those clamps and flip it up. Although on these, that can be really difficult and there's not a lot of room. So what we'll do is we'll remove this screw right here. I was gonna try to do it with my hand, it's shaky. We'll be removing this screw and we will be removing this screw. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Now, once those screws are removed, as you can see, you'll lift up on the back. So you'd think you'd pull up on the front because that's how you do a lot of these, but this one, you just lift up on the back and that will release the top of your dryer from the rest of the body. So now, actually, what you're really gonna do is you're gonna push the top of this back to where it belongs. Okay, now you see we've got these screw holes lined up again like they are. And then this one's lined up again. So what we wanna check though is make sure that the top hasn't went back down on the clamps. So as you can see here, we can still lift the front. So we'll go to the back and we will actually be putting these two screws back in. So I'll do that real quick. Now we'll just take the top, lift it up and either rest it on a wall or I've got a bungee cord right here. I'm gonna set mine up like this. So there we go. That's how we get into the top. Now in order to move this panel here on the front, there are 6 screws we need to remove. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me do that real quick. After those 6 screws are removed, you can close the door, grab this front panel here, and just, actually I forgot, there's 2 tabs, one right here, so you need to depress that and lift that over. There's another one over here. So now both of those are off. Then we can lift up and remove the front panel. You will have the thing you got to disconnect right here for the door switch. So disconnect that. Once you've done that, you can move this front panel all the way over to the side. Now, we need to remove this front bulkhead. So it'll be 6 screws again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I guess it's 5. So we'll do that. And then we also have a moisture sensor down here we'll need to disconnect. And then this bulkhead will lift out of here. Once those screws are removed and your moisture sensor is disconnected, this should just lift right out of there, to be honest. So let me try to use both hands. All right guys, so yeah, you'll just lift up on that. You can move this over to the side. Be careful because your lid switch connection is right here. You don't really need to mess with that much. Now we're inside the dryer. So what you'll do is you'll need to get under here and get the belt off of the pulley and the drive shaft of the motor, and then you'll be able to pull the drum out. Once you have the belt disconnected, you should be able to lift up on the belt here and slide the drum out. Set that to the side. Now, we got inside the dryer. Now, here is the area we're concerned with. This is your heating area. This metal thing here, that is your heating element. Here is your high limit thermostat, I believe. This goes to your heating element. And then here is your thermal fuse assembly. So, got my multimeter here. We'll turn it on, set it to continuity. I'm gonna hit select. Okay, so now, whenever I test these, I'm gonna get this untangled, and I've got continuity, it'll make this sound. So, that's what we're going to be looking at on this heating element. And if you guys are wondering, I have actually already tested these. So, we'll remove this terminal here. Put one lead here, one lead here. That's good. Now I want to make sure it's not grounded to the actual heating element. So we'll just place terminal here, terminal, or a lead on top of the heating element itself. Nothing, so that's good. Now, we'll go over to the high limit thermostat and we'll do the same thing. See if there's continuity between these two. One here. As you can see, with continuity. So, heating element's good. High limit thermostat's good. Now let's try the thermal fuse. Do the same thing. Nothing. You can already see I labeled this as bad. So that's what we will be needing to change out. I really don't need to put those back on there. But I already got on Amazon, got this ordered. So here's the package that I bought off Amazon. It's got all the little heating elements we need, or heating components. But we've got a high limit thermostat. We're gonna go ahead and change this out, just because we're changing the thermal fuse assembly. And here's our thermal fuse assembly. And guys, all of these pieces together, I think were $10 to $12. So not this was 10, this was 10, this was 10. All of this together was like 10 or 12 bucks. So really, really cheap fix. And again, this is specifically what we need. Here's the part number for that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we will put these two items on over here. And again, guys, I'm gonna do it one at a time as I remove one terminal connector from here. I'll place it here, that way I don't get them confused. The black one will go here, or place that. We'll do the same thing on this one, which this is just 2 screws holding this in. Screw here, and I believe there's a screw on the bottom side. And I think it's just 1 screw holding the high limit on. So again, we're gonna replace this, and we should be good to go. And really quick, guys, I didn't record it, but what you wanna do before you put these on is just check these for continuity, just like we did these, because every once in a while you will get sent one that's not working. So the last thing you wanna do is have a bad part, replace it what you think is a good part, but it's actually a bad part, and then you try to work the machine, it's not working, and you're sitting here confused. not thinking it's this because it's brand new. But yeah, you will get some that are faulty. So go ahead and just check all your parts always before you replace them. All right, replace the high limit thermostat and the thermal fuse assembly, and got those reconnected. So what we'll do, we'll grab the drum here and we will place it back how we found it inside the dryer. So obviously can't do that one-handed, but if you need to know how that belt goes back on there, I've got some other videos fixing some dryers that it might be easier to see. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this back in there. Now we'll put the bulkhead back in. Just wanna make sure that this drum is sitting on these two wheels and that you slide these tabs into these slots. All right, I've got the bulkhead back on, put the 5 screws back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then reattach my moisture sensor. And the next thing we will do, so bring this front panel back. There's some grooves in here on the bottom and some slots, so just set those in there. And then you will want to connect your door switch assembly right here. If you're trying to do it, you'll see that it's kind of short. So what I'll do is while I'm doing that, I will lower this to give myself some more slack so it'll reach farther, as you can see there. So again, can't do that one-handed, so let me do that real quick. All right, I got the front panel put back on there. Lid switch is connected, or the door switch. And when you're putting this back on, you want to make sure that front panel slips over these tabs. One here, and you'll put your screws back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So once that's back together, you're basically done. And I will remove this and lower the top, push down, make sure it clamps down and you can't lift it up anymore, and then we should be fixed. So it's all put back together. We'll test it here in a second, but while I've got it in here, I'm gonna spray it and wipe it down. It's just kind of been in the shop for a while. So yeah, hopefully we fixed what we needed to. All right guys, as you just saw, the dryer was heating up. In the last video you could see it's still warm actually. But you could see up here, the heating element had gotten hot because you could see a glow there. So that's the end of this video. Again, this was free. Repair was probably 10 to 12 bucks in parts. And I got it listed for 160 plus 40 for delivery. So should get somewhere between 160 and 200 bucks for this. So anyways guys, got the cord on, all that stuff. Now we'll just wait for it to be sold, but this is where the video will be wrapped up. Thank you guys for watching. If this helped, please give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing to the Southern Skunk. And if you haven't yet, check out my 60-second story time.